We are live.
Hello. Welcome to the Punk Rock Libertarians Podcast, episode 381. I am Otto Dassing, and tonight I am joined with Jared Schneiderman.
What up?
Alex Schlegel.
Good to see everybody.
Extremist Bab.
Hello.
And special guest, the host of Break the Cycle podcast, at-large member of the LNC, and he's also running for vice chair,
Correct.
Mr. Joshua Smith.
Hello. Thank you guys for having me on. I appreciate it.
Oh yeah, man.
Oh yeah, and you're
awesome.
also they're also
Thanks for
trying to
coming
kick
on.
you off too now, so that's fun.
What's that?
They're also trying to kick you off now too. I
Oh,
forgot about that.
well, they're trying
Yeah.
to censure me.
Oh yeah, censor.
Yeah, but they're
Ooh.
no doubt there will be a motion to remove me at the Reno meeting. There's no doubt in my mind.
All right. And what is your offense? Let's get right into it.
I had the terrible offense of making a motion to fire one of our staff members publicly on the list. That's it. That's all I did
On Christmas
on Christmas Day. Yeah.
Eve.
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
Christmas Eve.
How was your decorum?
The decorum was fine. It was
okay.
fine, unless you consider Christmas to be indecorous. I think I did pretty well. I made a pretty good argument as to why she should be removed.
And who is the she who should be removed?
It's our development director. She is her name is Tara DeSisto, and she has done some really dumb things in Massachusetts, including taking a state XCOM position she was appointed to, and now she's involving herself in intra-party politics, going after caucuses, pushing away donors, and that's her whole job is to acquire
Push away donors?
Yeah, and
Oh,
cultivate.
all right.
No, the opposite. Bring them
Oh,
in.
okay.
Bring them in.
I don't
You
know.
would think that would be the job in the LP, right?
Yeah,
I mean, you don't know. You with the LP, you don't know. You know, like
just never know. You
like-
never know.
we need to make sure that libertarians don't join whatever we have to do.
How do we keep libertarians out of the Libertarian Party?
Right. How do we fix the Libertarian Party? We need to cure it of its libertarianism is usually what they're coming after it for. You know, they're
Exactly.
like the Libertarian Party's great, but it's just this libertarianism is holding us back. So
yeah. Well, we can't be libertarians, that's for sure.
yeah.
Right. So so she did all that, and so I guess that led for them to now want to censor you. But now you
Censure.
Yeah.
No, it's-
Censure.
Right. Twitter and YouTube do the censoring. Censuring is for
That's right.
For the LP.
for the centurions.
The Centurions. Wow.
I'm sorry. I'm still a little congested. People wonder. I wanted to say thank you guys for everyone sending me their love and support. My father died about a few days before Christmas, and I guess then immediately my whole entire family got COVID at the same time, like the day after he died.
Wait, you got
And,
COVID again?
Yeah, so I don't know. I don't get tested, so it just assumed everyone else in my family who got tested positive, and we all had the same symptoms. So I'm just going to assume. And then so I've been dealing with that for the past few weeks, just dealing with a lot of family stuff, and just wanted to thank everybody. So
Sorry about your dad.
Welcome
Thanks.
back. Welcome back to the show.
yes, I needed this. I needed this. So in the meantime, in one of our shows, we'll just get to it. In the meantime, I had people scheduled to come on, and I woke up the next morning after the podcast to Josh calling us out, man.
Yeah, I was really
He
upset.
went hard in the paint.
I did. I was really upset.
Oh, all right, let's hear it. What's up?
So here's the thing. So I'm dealing with some shit right now. Within the Mises Caucus, if you guys aren't aware, I was the Mises Caucus backed candidate for chairman two times in a row, 2018 and 2020, and it's my home. The Mises Caucus has been my home since the inception of the Mises Caucus. I really took that caucus and put it on my back and traveled to 45 states over 4 years. I took a lot of arrows for the caucus, and some people said some things about me that were making me kind of question what the fuck was going on. And, I didn't believe it to be true, and I still don't. And we've worked some of that stuff out behind the scenes now, but I was kind of on a warpath, man. And then someone came to me and said, "Hey, yeah, I was talking to the punk rock libertarians, and they said you have too much baggage to be the vice chair of the party." And,
What?
I kind of just lost it. I had a couple drinks.
Did
And
anybody from this show actually say that?
I don't know. I think it's in your Patreon, though. That's the thing. So
I've missed a couple shows, so I don't know.
Yeah.
What?
I think it's in your Patreon. I haven't seen it, and I probably should have watched it first.
All right, Jared, Alex, what's up with that?
Jared,
What'd you say, Alex? What did you say, bro? No, I think I made one joke about you losing a bunch. That was all I said.
Well, so someone came to me and said that, and I was already dealing with. I felt like I was at war with people who I had been to war for like the last 4 or 5 years. You know?
Yeah.
Wait, because they're making fun of you for losing twice?
No. I don't care. You guys can make fun of me for losing all you want.
I was going to say, like, if you don't like that, then you should just try winning.
Yeah, exactly. I know, right? It's true. No, I made a post that was like, I can't believe the punk rock libertarians would adopt the words of my enemies, the narrative of my enemies. Never meet your heroes, folks. That's what I said. Because punk rock libertarians are the first punk rock outlet that I was privy to in like 2008, 2009, whenever Matt started the shit. And I mean, I was kind of hurt and upset, and I said something I shouldn't have. I deleted it the next morning, apologized to Alex and Otto and Matt. I had like an hour-long phone conversation with Matt, and
he likes to do that.
Yeah. But I felt bad. I felt really, really bad because I do love PRL. I'm a big fan, and I love you guys, and but I was hurt and upset and mad, and so I said some shit that I probably shouldn't have. And I apologize.
It's all good, Josh.
It's all good, man.
I still don't actually know what the original criticism was. So
why don't you listen to the fucking Patreon, James?
Yeah.
Why don't you pay $1 and listen to it yourself?
I'm not spending $1 for that. I'm not spending $1 for that crap.
I mean, to be fair, like there's too much drama to keep up with. So we were talking to the after hours, the most recent, and then it just kind of came on. Masha brought it up, and it's like, you know what? I haven't really thought about this. Kind of put me on the spot, and we were just riffing about it. And it was just like, I was like, God, you know what? I'm just focused on Maryland. Like, Josh ran a couple times. Like, I was like, I don't know what's going on behind the scenes. It's politics, and sometimes it's like politics. It's like, it's not personal. It's just, who knows? It's like, I'm at the state level organizing, it's kind of like, this is above my pay grade or above my responsibility. So it's kind of like, and unfortunately in politics, it's just, so we were just talking about that. That's probably, it was all just like,
I get it.
Yeah.
And Masha didn't, it's not like Masha came to me, was like, these motherfuckers, she was just like,
I hope not. I was like,
no, she was just like, I think they said that you had too much baggage to be the vice chair or something. I was like, what? Motherfucker, these guys too.
You know what, though?
And I was like, oh,
but it wasn't like us. It was just us looking through like the Prague, like political lens, like, all right, elections, winning strategy, like kind of caught us off guard.
Just like look at the baggage that we have here on this show right now.
Okay. Imagine if one of us or any of us were trying to run for vice chair.
Yeah,
like
I get it. Well, it's funny because it's like I've had some of these accusations levied at me from my own fucking people over the last month, and it's like this is after all the shit I've been through for the caucus and the party. After dealing with being on a board with Nick Sarwark for fucking 2 years, now dealing with Whitney Bilyeu, I had to deal with Joe Bishop Henchman, all these fucking horrible people. I put myself through hell, and I'm like, now I'm finally like the most stable I've been in any of my runs. You know what I mean? Like I have a good job, I'm set. I got roots planted somewhere. It's not like it was before, and I actually have the time to do it and the resources to do it and get it done and do a good job. And now I feel like I'm like, the fucking people that supported me are now like attacking me. What the fuck is going? You know what I mean? And like, I don't know, man. It was a hard week, and you guys just happened to be like right in the line of fire, man. And I apologize.
But wait a minute, I have to ask though, why would anyone want to be the chair of the LNC? That's got to be the worst job, like
ever.
You're gonna be
unpaid.
Like, you want to be like captain of the worst ship, like
hey, like captain of the Titanic.
It's true, man. It's true. Well, I think that the party is headed in a good direction. The LNC
towards what? They're disbanding?
No. Listen, the party is going in a good direction. The LNC is like the last remnant of the old party, man. I mean, that's really what it is. And they're just happen to be on their last 6 months of life in this party. And so I'm still dealing with the shit that we were dealing with 4 years ago. But the rest of the party is like having successes at the state level all over the country because of the Mises Caucus. And I'm still like mixing it up with these champagne loser brigade types that want to be invited to the press club and shit. You know what I mean? And so
they're like Beltway. Are they still Beltway libertarians? Out
yeah, like
there?
it's on the board, it's like 75% Beltway libertarians, 25% us, and it sucks. And the rest of the party around the country is not like that. You know what I mean? It's just
well,
like
why not let them
completely.
let them have the LNC. Let them go to meetings all over the country, and they can decide whether dues will be $20 or $25, and they can have all kinds of fun and decide where the convention will be. Meanwhile, like you guys just go out and do libertarian shit.
It seems to me.
Yeah.
I feel like Mr. Bab has been around the party once or twice, maybe.
Yeah, extremist
Bab.
Dated. Yeah, extremist Bab. He was like the first to storm the beach, years ago. He's a grizzled veteran.
No,
You can't tell.
no, not at all. I'm still a fan of libertarians in general, and I consider myself a friend of our Pennsylvania libertarians and New Jersey libertarians, and whatever. But the party, I'm not going to waste my time.
Oh, dude, I'm about to come and take the Pennsylvania party over here in a couple month or two. It's on.
Oh, I cannot wait. That's going to be such a good convention.
I can't wait.
Is that coming up in March? And I heard Tom Woods is going to be there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So get this. So I'll give you the rundown on what happened, James. So last year at the Pennsylvania State Convention, Mike Heiss lives there, right? Like the Mises Caucus, like all the Mises Caucus, or like the original organizers are from Pennsylvania. It's Mike Heiss, Luke Enzer, Jeff Douglas. Like these guys are all from like.
Right.
This is
right out of the Philly Ron Paul scene.
Yeah,
exactly.
This is it, man.
Yeah,
This is where
Babs is like OG and the Fed marches during like 2008, 2012 Ron Paul days.
And these are the same guys. I mean, they're from that too.
Yeah.
They were just a lot younger than you, obviously. But
thanks.
It's
Thanks
no
a
problem,
lot.
man. It's true. They're young guys. They're younger than me, dude, and so so last year at the Pennsylvania State Convention, there's this rule, this bylaw that says you have to be a member for a certain amount of time. It almost always
180 days.
Yeah, 180 days. It always gets suspended. Every convention historically it has been suspended so that newer members can vote. And
I know the rule. Yeah.
So the Mises Caucus brought all kinds of new people in. And like
that's what the rule is for, to keep these takeovers from happening.
Sure. So they didn't suspend the rule. So these new members couldn't vote. So there was over 100 libertarians there, registered libertarians, that didn't get to vote at the convention. Now, they also have a stipulation in their bylaws that says you do not have to be an in-state libertarian to be a voting delegate at their state convention. So immediately following the Pennsylvania State Convention last year, hundreds of us from around the country signed up to become a member of the Pennsylvania State Party.
So you paid like $25 each?
Yeah, I mean, I don't even think it was that. I think it was like $10 or something, right?
Yeah, you can even do it for free if you're like a student or something. But like that's how easy it is to buy the LP.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah,
the LPTA.
Exactly.
Like,
so
you
now
don't just show up. You actually have to invest $10.
Right.
Okay,
Well,
and then it's yours.
Now I'm going. Dave Smith's going. Tom Woods is going. All of these people from around the country are going to show up, and guess what? It's been way more than 180 days since we've been members, and now they got to deal with this.
Yeah.
So
Alex and I were there.
I think I could become a member because I was a previous member.
Right.
I think I would be allowed to renew my dues and become a delegate.
Now they put it
know.
way out in the middle of bumfuck Egypt, in the middle of nowhere.
It's
well,
where
they
the
always
Little League-
right.
Yeah,
They always do that when
Where
you
the
need to
Little
get
League
away
World
from the
Series
libertarians.
is.
They're like, I mean, literally, like one year they had the convention so far away, it was like a suburb of Cleveland. It was so far away. Like,
I'm trying to remember
literally.
the first Pennsylvania State Convention I went to. I'm trying to remember where the fuck it was, but I flew into Philly, and it was a 3-hour drive.
Oh, that's nothing. That's
Harrisburg. That was probably Harrisburg.
No, it wasn't Harrisburg.
Oh, Scranton, maybe.
No,
Like,
it wasn't Scranton. I'd remember the name of it if I heard it, but it was like there was literally Amish
Altoona.
carts. There was like Amish coaches like going down the street.
yeah, like maybe like Lancaster. Or something.
Slippery rock.
I'm like, where the fuck are we, dude?
oh,
Jesus.
you're out there in Dutch country now.
Bro, it was far. Like Steve Sheets, or was it? Yeah, Steve Sheets picked me and Alex Merced up, and then drove 3 hours on the turnpike to get us to where we were going. I have no fucking idea where it was. I couldn't tell
That's
you.
awful. Well,
Wow.
I mean,
is this when Steve liked you, or is this?
Yeah, Steve used to like me. He used to be my friend. He
Yeah.
became
Me
a
too.
bitch over the last year or two.
Yeah,
He,
it was a couple years
Not a fan
ago,
of me.
but anyway, well, that's the thing. In Phil, like people don't realize that like almost everybody in Pennsylvania lives in the Philly suburbs.
Right.
Another like maybe 30% or 25% are over by Pittsburgh, and that's it. Like there's almost nobody. So they would do stuff like, well, okay, we have to put the convention in Pittsburgh every once in a while because because those people would get tired of driving over to Philly, and then they'd put the convention over there, and then those people wouldn't even show up. So like so it'd be like, okay, make everybody in the East drive across the state, and then the people over there didn't even care, and they're just not that many. But whenever they need to, like, okay, we got to get away from the libertarians, just you can just count the miles away from Philly, and you'll know how deep the shenanigans are going to be.
Well, I the last Pennsylvania state convention I went to was in Philly, like proper, and it was a blast. Like it was really. I had never been to Philly, like actually, like hung out in Philly, and it was amazing. I had a great time. I like Philly. Had some great sandwiches.
Was that the one with the last presidential round of Vermin Supreme?
2020,
yeah.
I want to say it was March of 2020.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
Yeah, it was a good
Yeah,
time.
the last
Jim
Pennsylvania-
Bovard.
Yeah,
that was
that was in the before times. But the last PA convention that Otto and I went to, that we witnessed, it was the last PA convention was worse than January 6th.
Oh, geez.
So moderately bad.
Yeah,
So
it's all documented too. The docs are out there. You could go because it was professionally filmed.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
We were all featured in it. It was just like,
Was that with our camera?
No, I didn't bring it because I knew Heiss hired a professional photographer, one of his boys, and he had a drone and he filmed it. It was Bazzacco was in it. It was a great documentary, but it perfectly highlighted like how fucking shitty the last PA convention was, and just how they kept the 180-day rule, like how the loser brigade just flat out fucking lies all the time. How there was so much fuckery at the credentialing table, and just like some parliamentary bullshit, and literally like rolling up with two buses.
Like we were the buses of Republicans. That's what they call us.
The bus of Republicans. They were all new libertarians to the party from Philadelphia. So we got on the bus, two buses from Philadelphia, then stopped in Harrisburg. So Otto and I drove up from Baltimore, like met at a park and ride. Like,
was it like a keg? Did you have a keg on the bus?
Oh,
we brought
a lot of
oh my god, I was so drunk.
It was so
you had a keg of Zima, right? Keg of Zima.
I would love to have a keg of Zima. That'd be fucking awesome. What are you talking about?
Wow, I got a guy you should meet.
Dude, yeah, it was great. Like 2-pack buses, but they were like, oh, they was all packed with out-of-state people, and it's like, no, they're all from Pennsylvania that were like, yo, it sucks driving from the east and middle part of the state all the way to fuck out to Pittsburgh. So let's just ride on these buses, park, throw $20 to the caucus, and we had buses the whole fucking weekend. And like, we had our own fucking event out there. We had
right on.
We had Scott Horton, Jeff Dice,
way bigger. That's the way. That's the Ron Paul way, isn't it? Like you just have your own thing and you just dwarf it. You dwarf whatever the other bullshit.
Were there multiple guys in bear costumes?
Yes.
There was no. There was. Well, I look like a bear, but I'm.
Oh yeah, like a San Francisco bear.
Yeah.
But yeah,
get you a leather hat. You'll be doing good, buddy.
But that's the thing. The convention sucked, but everything outside of the convention was amazing. Like I said, the actual
isn't that how it always is, though?
Exactly. The actual convention was.
See, that's just the way to. This is the way to do Libertarian Party stuff. Ignore the Roberts rules. Don't even get up for the stupid meeting. Okay, just do. It's for the beer drinking. It's for hanging out with your libertarian friends. And just if you focus on that, it's great, right? But just don't like next thing you're trying to make a motion to suspend the rules to blah blah blah. You've lost. Okay, like, go away.
You're losing.
Like,
Yeah.
gosh, Babs is a grizzled vet.
Yeah,
It sounds like it. For sure.
it's like show me
Babs
on the
has
doll.
Babs has
Show me on the doll
PTSD.
where the LP
Problem.
touched you.
There's no doubt that he's been there before. Dude. Like,
He's got his
LPSD.
PTSD from working within the Libertarian Party for decades. It's worse than 1-6.
I have, I learned how to do it in a way that, that was fine. I just ignored all the bullshitters, right? And didn't play the stupid politics and just, and focused on the beer drinking, and it was fine.
he's like, that's the best. That's
Yeah, I
what
saw
I'm
you
here.
at
I'm
the-
here for the beer drinking. Fuck it.
I saw you at the
Where's your
Mises
beer,
Caucus Christmas what is it? Christmas party in Jersey.
Yeah, it was
We never-
super
I never-
fun. Those guys are cool.
Yeah, I haven't made it up to Jersey yet. I don't know when their convention is. I was thinking about going up to that.
Well, that party was like in previous years had been the NJLP party at Canasense. Neil Schloss is the host, and but I think there was some kind. But this year it was just Mises Caucus Canasense party, which is basically the same thing, only like it doesn't matter what the LP does. The same cool stuff will happen anyway, right? Like this party, regardless of whatever's going on. Like I think NJLP was all like COVID crazed and can't do a party, and they're like, well, we just do it anyway.
Yeah, they should. That's how it should be.
Yeah, and they're great hospitality up there and just nice folks. So we concluded that like what most people call Mises Caucus is what we used to just call the Libertarians.
Right, exactly.
Like-
exactly. That's exactly how it is, dude. Ron Paul has literally Ron Paul has literally called the Mises Caucus the libertarian wing of the Libertarian Party.
Yeah.
That's what he said. So you can argue with that, but fuck Nick Sarwark. That's all I gotta say.
Yes.
Well, Nick recently honored me on Facebook by declaring that I didn't care about the LP. And
boy, wow, buddy.
like,
Captain Obvious, huh?
yeah, no, I had no idea that he would even know. Like how would he, right?
Well, he listens to the
I mean-
show, of course.
Yeah.
He must be a
Well,
fan.
it's like your
He's a
Whoopi
patient.
Goldberg endorsement you got. Who is that?
Right. Yeah,
where
well,
does
that was a long
where does
time
this
ago.
land on the scale between this and Whoopi Goldberg?
The View.
That's way short. Way short of
short,
that. Yeah.
Dude, that clip, I dug it up and showed my girlfriend. She couldn't fucking believe it. I showed Kara, and I was like, yo, Babs, you met him at Pork Fest, the old guy I do the podcast with? And I'm
Damn.
like, yeah. And I was like,
Hey, damn.
I was like,
That old white boy.
That old fat guy.
the old cool, like the old guy with the with the camping
Goofy
trailer
guy.
at Pork Fest. Like, yeah, the cool old white boy. Yeah. So like Tara was like, yeah, he was featured on fucking The View. Like Whoopi Goldberg
said it by
called
name.
him out, called Jim Babs this extremist activist. Like this was crazy, Josh. Like you can look it up. We could probably
Is this
let's-
legit? This really
let's
happened?
bring-
Yeah,
let's-
this
yeah,
actually
let's-
happened.
Let's
We
bring
didn't
the
believe
audio
it.
up.
I'll
Let's
pull it
get
up on the
the
after hours again.
Okay.
It's don't bother. It's like 12 years ago. Who cares?
This might be the greatest thing I've ever heard, though.
Yeah,
Right.
so
Yeah.
pay $1 and you can listen to this on the after hours.
Yeah.
Or you could just
Google it on YouTube. Or
Or-
search it on YouTube.
But
Nobody
you won't know what
cares.
to look for. You won't know
Dude,
what to
I
search
saw
for.
I saw a recent picture of Whoopi, and she looked like she was like 300 pounds. I was
yeah,
like,
she
oh my
is.
god, she's really
Well-
blown up.
That's what happens when
Well-
the adrenochrome runs out.
Yeah, and you get that
supply
third boost-
chain. Yeah,
The
and you
supply
got that
chain.
third booster.
It's somewhere off the coast of California.
I found it.
Oh,
You found it?
Yeah,
Josh is playing it.
I could tell. I could tell you guys what to search, but I'm not gonna. You got to pay
Yeah.
the dollar.
That's right.
Yeah,
Pay the
$1.
dollar, motherfuckers.
but the
I
thing
am
about-
the internet, by the way. I can
the
find
thing of
anything.
the thing that triggered the Sarwark remark was something going on in New Hampshire, where people affiliated with the LP of New Hampshire came up with a fund to help progressives move out of the state, where they're going to pay your moving expenses, cover your
Man, I
transportation,
love
your
the New Hampshire
meals.
libertarians so hard.
Like, and I thought this was so hilarious. I'm like,
Yeah.
this is funny as hell. will anybody even capitalize on that? Probably not. But if they did, it's like, even if they spend thousands of dollars to actually like hire a moving truck, the promotional value would be so valuable. Like, I mean,
we could just move one liberal progressives out of New Hampshire.
If you were a conservative business, you would jump on that fucking business opportunity.
Yeah.
You would jump.
Wait, why was Sarwark opposed to this?
Well, because it's
fucking Sarwark.
Right, because people were bent out of shape, and first I knew it was successful right away because people are triggered, right? And so like, it's not the appropriate use of LP funds, like, okay, like what is appropriate
going to
use
be with
of
LP
funds?
money?
Well, it was actually, it said like they had like partnerships. It was kind of unclear if there was going to be any party money, but probably not, right? And it was just a promotional stunt. People having fun. And, I call that asymmetrical information warfare, right? Like, you can't meet them at their game. You have to play a new game. You got to be, radical. You got to get attention. You got to get your haters to do the promotion for you, right? And this like checks off those boxes, right? It's like, good job, but, and then people are like, oh, so now we're going to physically remove them, huh? They went right to like HOPA. Like paying people's moving expenses is basically akin to dropping them out of a helicopter at this point.
Yeah, what like a beautiful thing, especially like if in your state of New Hampshire and you're going to like next year, just push the most like radical principled like legislation and at the local level. And then you could just say, like, if anybody's like protesting, it's like, well, we had a free market solution for you to leave if you didn't like it.
I can tell you, here's why Sarwark was so upset. Because he was afraid if it was successful, he'd be the last progressive left in New Hampshire. That's it. That's the whole thing. He'd have to be surrounded by libertarians, and he hates that.
He's such a Fed. He is such a Fed.
Totally. 100%.
I mean, think about it, right? Why would he join the Free State Project and then a couple years on the LNC? He was the chair of the Maryland Libertarian Party.
I know.
And I can't believe that shit. Like, I'm like,
well, I think he was the vice chair of Maryland, and he was the chair of Colorado.
No, he was chair of Maryland.
So chair of Maryland and then vice chair of Colorado.
Maryland was the closest one to CIA headquarters.
Exactly. And he lived. That's where his address is. That's where his address was. That's
just a good commuting. Just good commuting.
Yeah. I'm like, everything speaks of NSA spook. Okay?
Well, this is what I had this argument with Scott Horton on my show.
Oh yeah, Scott hates it when you say that.
Yeah, Scott really doesn't like it when you call Nick a Fed because he's like, there's no proof, right? Well, here's the thing. If you follow Nick and his like work in the party, it makes a lot of sense. He came out of fucking nowhere in Maryland, became the chair of the Maryland party. Okay. And
that's definitely suspect right there.
Right away. Exactly. Came out of nowhere, became
he's sketchy.
I thought it only cost like $10.
Hold on. He was supposedly born and raised in Arizona. Came out of nowhere in Maryland, became the chair of the Maryland party, transferred over to Colorado, became the vice chair of the Colorado party.
Ooh, Colorado's big government spy.
Went back to Arizona to take over his dad's car dealership, right? And became the chair of the National Libertarian Party for 6 years. Okay. As soon as he leaves chair of the National Party, he goes to the Free State Project in New Hampshire. Okay. Yeah. We know that the people in New Hampshire are doing illegal things. Okay. We know. And immediately 3 people are arrested for selling and trading Bitcoin in Bitcoin trading machines, right?
So you think he's involved in the Crypto 6 conspiracy?
I think it's a big possibility. It happened right after he moved to New Hampshire, and so I'm going to tell you.
Also on that magazine subscription list, right?
Well, it wasn't a fucking magazine subscription list. That's what I hate.
Informant Weekly.
I hate this shit. So Wikileaks, first of all, Wikileaks has never been wrong. They vet all their fucking information before it goes out. You know what I mean? And Wikileaks produced a list of what were said to be high-level operatives and intelligence assets from Stratfor. Okay? Yep. And Nick Sarwark's name and address were on this list.
Same with Sarah Palin.
Yeah.
Right.
Underneath, yeah. So
where's she now? Like, where are these people?
We broke this on Punk Rock Libertarians a few years ago.
Sure.
We got this information from the Free Thought Project.
But listen,
we got the docs, folks.
So this becomes a big deal because everyone hates Nick already at this point, and he already acts like a Fed. You know what I mean? Like if he's not a Fed, he couldn't be doing anything better, right? And so he says, "Oh, my sister's husband, my brother-in-law, or my wife's brother-in-law, got me a 1-year subscription to their magazine, to Stratford magazine." No, he didn't. Why would anyone say, "Hey, libertarian, I'm going to get you a fucking year-long subscription to the Stratford magazine as a Christmas present"? You'd laugh if you were
magazine.
Some magazine for some fucking intelligence company. I don't know.
They're like the they're like the private CIA is what they've been compared.
Yeah.
To. Something like private NSA, something like that.
And so
I thought that was Google.
And here's some other crazy shit too. When he was in Arizona still, I went to the Arizona State Convention. And so I was in Phoenix, and I'm like, you know what? I'm going to go check out his fucking car dealership, right? Sarwark's Auto Sales, big giant fucking auto dealership in close to downtown Phoenix, right? So I go there. It's a Saturday afternoon. There's like 20 cars on the lot. No one's in the building. The place is completely closed down. He's telling everyone that he's running this successful car dealership, dude. And I'm like, no. This is.
I mean, if you can't trust a car dealer these days, who can you trust?
No, but I'm looking at it.
Was it like boiler room and there's just phones sitting on the ground?
The place was a shell. It was like a shell.
Oh, dude.
No doubt about it.
God, nothing is sacred.
I mean,
he's a lawyer and a car salesman. Let's be honest here. The guy is not trustworthy.
And then going to look at like the Free State Project. Look how base that has become.
Yeah.
Right. It's the most successful libertarian thing. It's the most successful libertarian thing going.
Yeah.
Right.
Free so why would you not try to co-opt that?
Especially since you thought it was the LP, and then you figured out that's useless, and you don't even need to run that anymore.
And why would Nick take his fucking 6 children or 5 children or however many kids he has now and leave warm ass nice Arizona where he owns his own car dealership and move to New Hampshire with no job? Okay,
because that's where he was ordered to go. You get your assignment and you go.
His handlers told him it was time. No doubt about it. That's what happened.
So the nice thing about this show is, like with Scott Horton, I understand. Scott has a fact-based show. His integrity is everything, right?
We have none.
This is Punk Rock Libertarians. This is a comedy show, and we can just wildly speculate and infer, and it's
which we do.
And if you have a problem with it, we're punk rock. Go kiss our asses.
Yep.
Yeah, it's like we can get away with it. Whereas these fact-based, factually correct shows.
Does James Babb actually? Are you actually a punk rock enjoyer, James Babb? Are you a punk rock guy?
No, not at all.
Okay,
he's within the 3x5. He's a square.
All right.
I'm square. Yeah,
I was like, I don't know. Maybe he's a big fan of the Damned or something. I don't know.
I guess. I mean, I have a couple punk rock albums, but I would not consider Punk's dead now. So how could I
disagree with that?
I mean,
hey, as long as I'm alive, Punk's not dead.
Yeah,
Good Charlotte forever.
Oh Jesus, fuck. Yeah. Hey, I still like Good Charlotte. I don't give a shit.
I know. I don't care.
I don't give a fuck.
I probably could have liked punk, but I was trained in music, and I like intonation and things like that. So
talent,
bro. I'm trained in music too. I learned how to read tab. Okay, what the fuck are you talking about?
It sounds like some kind of guitar, some kind of guitar language. I don't even know.
Babs is more into musicals, like our Judge Jim Gray.
That's into serenading us.
I'm not gonna lie. I like musicals too. I can't lie.
Did you
hear about that story,
Josh? Judge Jim Gray when he
tanked his campaign on our show?
You guys had Judge Jim Gray on Punk Rock Libertarians?
Yeah,
it was
for the convention.
I think it's safe to say that was his last political engagement.
Yeah, he basically said he would throw. He said he would throw James in jail for passing out pamphlets in front of his courthouse.
Oh, I think I saw that clip.
That was our show. Yep. And then he serenaded us at the end of the show.
And then he sang a song.
He sang a show tune.
Did his own song that
his own
was that his own? Right. It was. Yeah. It was like 2 minutes long.
It was a song.
Like I asked him to like sing, like hum a few bars, and he gave us like a whole like act one,
rendition,
of the musical. It was rather embarrassing for all of us, like because there's really no way to cut him off, but like it just. And here's another verse, and another. We should have just like faded him out.
Red ad broadcast button.
Just like what happened? Oh, we lost the judge. Oh no!
Stream over. God damn.
Was it the premise of the story like during Revolution times or something?
Yeah,
like
it was like a patriotic.
Was he singing Les Miserables or some shit? What the
it was
like
a libertarian Hamilton, but it never, nobody would like.
So ultra cringe.
Wow.
Yeah.
Honestly, though, I would rather his whole career had been doing shit like that instead of being a shitty judge. I mean,
or a shitty vice presidential candidate within the.
No, he was the president. He was the presidential candidate.
Oh, that too.
Yeah,
Oh god.
He was.
Oh yeah,
that was awesome.
I mean, it's not like
He exposed
Jorgensen was
himself.
much better.
Yeah. If we got 90s Jorgensen where she was comparing like capitalism to like prostitution,
She did the same thing this time too. And that was my biggest problem with her, dude. Is I was at a bunch of the same conventions as her, and she was saying the exact same shit she was saying in 1999, and I'm like, God damn, you haven't changed it up at all.
Right?
You're still giving this phone sex operator talk.
Yeah,
Seriously?
I mean that was
Shit
based back
sucks.
then. Yeah, I figured like, wow, she was based in the 90s. If she was just like a grizzled vet like Babs, she's probably like gonna come out swinging for the fences. And it was just like, you're just trying to like rehab. You're kind of like
she dusted off her own like notes.
fellow
Like, what
libertarians.
was big in 1997? 1-800-COLLECT.
no, it was all about like,
Live links.
how about this is the radical idea back then was tax and regulate weed. Like, whoa, you're gonna, like that was hardcore back then. And now when people like Gary Johnson are talking about taxing weed, it's like, what? That's like the DNC platform, probably.
We're gonna flat tax the weed.
My my opponent for vice chair thinks that the weed industry should have an excise tax on it, and sin taxes on top of that too. So that was cool. That was a good one to find.
Was that from
that was the other thing too, Josh.
Or no, what was it? Shit, not FAQ. I got my wrong.
That was
It
like
one of his.
Where was that from? Because I saw you posted on stuff. It sounded like he was running for Democrat somewhere, and he was like running.
He ran as a libertarian for North Carolina House in 2018, dude. I mean, three and a half years ago, and those were his positions as a libertarian for North Carolina House.
I'm
a libertarian, and these are my new tax ideas.
Yeah, taxes. He said we need to enforce the gun laws we have now to figure out if we can expand them. He fought against the state of North Carolina was trying to take 2 public schools that were failing and turn them into charter schools. He went and fought that. He said that if the schools need to stay in the hands of the people. I mean, he went and lobbied to increase government sector unions. The guy.
Well, how did this guy get the nomination?
For what?
He didn't.
For whatever he was running for.
He's running for vice chair.
He's running for vice chair now. He was the North Carolina House. He was a North Carolina House candidate.
Who nominated him for that?
No idea, dude. I don't know much about the North Carolina party.
Dude,
that's the thing too. Like we didn't know anything about this until you posted a couple days after.
You're welcome, buddy.
And that's the thing because I basically was like, who's this goof? And then I'm like, he's only got like. I'm like, he sits on the LNC and he only has like a couple hundred followers. And then I'm like, I don't know how he got on here, but he hasn't really done any, like he sucks, but he just is there. And I'm like,
is he a Fed though?
Right. I think he could, I don't know. Possible.
He could be a private loser.
Private loser. Just kind of like, hey, that's what I mean. You don't know.
So I don't,
don't just assume he's a Fed loser.
This is Eric Roth's up. He sits on the LNC right now.
Nice guy.
Yeah, I've only had
I met him at
convention
convention, like in Orlando, and it was like, all right, seems all right.
Guy.
Yeah.
But I didn't know any of these positions when he was running. It sounded like he was like you got these off his website when he ran for Democrat in 2003 or something.
Nope. No, he was totally running as a libertarian in 2018 with those positions.
You know what? And that would still be legit. If somebody runs in another party, you can still use that shit against them. Like, I mean, that is what does that just mean? What I mean, that's who they are, right?
Did you hear his Q&A?
No, that's what I'm saying. I didn't hear.
I mean, I don't know. You could change your mind on things
because I was on for yours. I was on for yours, and I never made his, and I meant to.
So he did. He somebody asked him because I've been spreading that thing around about the gun thing that he was talking about, and somebody asked him, how do you how do you feel that all gun laws are infringements? He's like, yeah, absolutely. I think you should be able to own whatever you want, even tanks. But if it's weapons of mass destruction, I think there should be a law that you need to be able to financially maintain these things to keep them. And so I sat there and listened to the rest of the Q&A because that was one of the first questions. And I told Mike's like, yeah, you can come on, but please don't stir the pot or don't be this or that. And so it got to the end of it, and I was like, okay, I got to say something, right? So I pulled up the quote and read the quote in the Q&A, dude. And he's like, well, yeah, I mean, if there's, he's like stuttering, if we could find reasons to expand gun laws, but I mean, it'd be a lot. It would take a lot to expand these gun laws. I mean, that's really what his answer was. And I'm going, you literally just told everybody that all gun laws are infringements. And now you're justifying this quote from 3 years ago when you could have just said, oh yeah, no, I've changed my mind.
Yeah, yes. That's you can tell he's into politics because he's just trying to say whatever he thinks the crowd wants to hear at any given time. And these people you could never count on somebody like that to hold a libertarian position ever. Soon as these people, they want to get into power, they want to get elected, and then as soon as they're like, well, as soon as there's a test, they're the first ones to cave for, well, I got my practical reasons and whatever. But some people do kind of come to libertarianism accidentally as sort of they start noticing that government sucks. They don't have the training or the philosophy, but they just have kind of piece together that government sucks in a lot of different ways.
Yeah, but he was an econ major in college and said that he came to Austrian economics by way of F.A. Hayek. He says, I'm on the later Austrian side. The F.A. Hayek side kind of brought me to and I'm like, as soon as he said that, I'm going, this is like the Murray Rothbard caucus, dog. What are you doing? They hate each other. And then I think he really killed himself in his Q&A because somebody asked him, do you think that the Joe Bishop henchmen and the Sarwarks are a good representative of the party? And he could not say that they were not.
Yeah.
He couldn't do it.
He's low level, probably.
Yeah. He couldn't do it.
Low level Fed.
Yeah. I mean,
it's a rookie Fed.
He's like what do you call it? He's like what's the word I'm looking for? God, I can't even remember now.
A grunt?
No. Compromised. He's compromised. Maybe he's not a Fed, but he's an agent of some sort.
Or at least it sounds like he's just kind of a drift. Right?
Yeah, I think he just plays whatever side of the fence helps him move along, and that's really because they asked him that question, and if it had been me or anybody that I would support for the role that I'm running for, they would have immediately been like, absolutely not. No, these are fucking horrible people that should not be a part of any leadership in this party. You know what I mean? And he couldn't. He was like, well, I mean, in some aspects, maybe they could be. I think that, well, if you look at the winds of change, obviously they're on their way out. And so, this part of the party's taking over. And I'm like, just say they're not good representatitions, dude.
Yeah. It's sad.
I mean, that sucks. I have how long was that go for? It's like an hour, which was longer than yours?
About an hour.
Yeah. And so a lot of the background of this was that I don't think maybe a lot of people don't know. I'm sure they do, but I'm just talking to Babs here. I'll talk to Babs. So the Mises Caucus endorsed this guy. Well, it didn't endorse him.
Explain to the old man here.
Yeah, explain to the old man.
What? What'd you say, Sonny?
Explain to this old grizzled vet.
Yeah.
This LP vet, what's going on?
LPSD.
So the Mises Caucus was looking to tap him for vice chair.
They were going to endorse him. They were definitely going to endorse him. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah.
Wait, Mises Caucus was going to endorse the same guy we were talking about?
Yes.
Yeah. Because
boy.
So here's the thing. There's a lot of people in the party that exist that are not batshit crazy. They're not fucking Carol Moores. They're not all these. They're not
Sarwarks and JBHs and stuff. Yeah, they're like the moderate center, but they're like truthful and honest and not pieces of shit. You know what I mean? There's a few of them. There's like three of them.
And so that's who. I mean, in 2020, in fairness, Ken Mullen was that guy that we were looking to endorse. We had Josh for chair, and we were Ken Mullen for vice chair. Is what we endorsed because they represent a part of the party that we can say, hey, look, we can work with you. We're not here to take over people here who are honest. We're here to get rid of people that.
So you tried to compromise. You thought, let's compromise.
Capitulate.
So then that's when Josh has been, we got into this spot where Josh was like, well, what the fuck? This guy sucks. And you came with the docs. And I wanted to. My only question with that, Josh, is when did you get those things from? Did you just find them before or after?
I have a team of people.
I was gonna say,
a whole team of people, dude. That's the thing. You sat in Boston and watched me talk to Mike.
I know. I remember.
And you remember what I said, right? I said I have the membership, dude. You can tell me all day long that the organizers don't like me, but I have the fucking membership. And he said, I don't believe you. I don't think that's true. Blah, blah, blah. I said, no, dude, trust me. I've been talking to these people. Well, those members went out and found all this shit about Eric. Okay. And they sent it to me. I wasn't even looking. I just knew he wasn't a good representative of the Mises Caucus. But then they started sending me shit. And I'm like, holy fuck, dude. So then I started looking into it. And then I started watching videos. I had no idea. I if you remember in 2020, I was the one that went around and asked everybody to please make him our 5th candidate on our at-large slate. Yeah. I was the one because he was a moderate. He was a nice.
Doing it too.
He was a nice guy. I thought maybe he'd vote with us. He was talking about him being radical and all this shit. And I was like, okay, well, I don't like some of your associations. That's what I did know that I didn't like the outright association because that caucus is full of shitheads, and it's not because they're gay. I'm not a homophobe. Okay. And
here's something funny. We've
got Otto.
We've got Otto. I was gonna say Otto is.
He's a trans.
It's funny. I get called a transphobe, but I'm a part of Outright. I'm a part of Outright.
I was a contributing member of Outright for a while too, bro. I'm not gonna. I did. So I saw some dudes like calling Joe Bishop henchman the F word online, and this was right after the last convention, and I was like, you know what, that's so cool, man. I'm gonna donate to Outright and say something, and now I regret it. Okay, we all make mistakes, and that was a big mistake for me. Another big mistake for me was asking us to vote for Eric Rodstedt for at-large, and so I'm trying to save the caucus from making that fucking mistake at a much higher level, right? And
so is that still the plan of the caucus right now? Is to
no.
All right. So in my opinion, I didn't think you had the delegation at the time. I didn't think you did, and I think immediately when you lost in 2020, and then again when you ran for whatever, that was like a half. When they voted Whitney in, there was a lot of people that were like, yeah, we just can't run someone more than 3 times. This is the Arvin Vohra that taught me this. Arvin Vohra, this is some of the words of wisdom that he taught me about dealing within the Libertarian Party. This is a statist organization, and you always have to look at it. It's a minarchist organization. Right. And there's always going to be some realm of politics that are always going to have to be played in this party. And he said one of the things is about running certain people. You can't keep running the same person over and over again. And I remember him telling this before even your first run. And that was kind of the mindset people talking to, just casually, just were like, hey, I remember they were talking about Shane Hazel running in 2022. Right after the convention, right after you lost, and just kind of like that was kind of the vibe. People were just kind of talking about who we could have run for chair because we can't, we don't want to do this to Josh again. It is mostly and it wasn't that's why I keep telling you, it wasn't personal.
It was personal for a couple people, for sure.
Politics is cancer. There it is. It fucking sucks. Listen, you're turning on your friends. You're like, let's figure out who can do better than Josh.
How can we fuck the guy that literally put us on the map? Let's talk about it. That's what it was. I mean, that's really what it was, dude. I'm telling you.
Really?
I'm the one. I was the one. Look, I'm not saying it was all me.
Well,
but I went to 45 states.
I heard of Mises Caucus before I heard of you, though. So to be fair,
to be honest,
I think maybe some other people.
That's because you're in Pennsylvania.
And also, I think Tom Woods. I think Tom Woods is probably the one that's probably spread more Mises Caucus around the world than anyone else. Well, is that fair?
You're talking about the Mises Institute, not the caucus.
No, Mises Caucus.
Well, I had already gotten us like to a fundraising point that they had never been to, and been to 40 states or 30 states before Tom Woods even joined the caucus.
Yeah.
All right.
And I'm going to tell you,
But he's famous.
So
yeah. Oh yeah. No doubt. No doubt.
He is a little bit of a Johnny come lately, though.
Oof.
So no, but in order to be fair to Josh here, I'm pretty sure I found out about the Mises Caucus through Josh's old podcast, Think Liberty, back in 2017, when he was on it with a few other people, and like I used to listen to it what do you guys record, like once a week or something? And
I think we did weekly podcasts there.
Yeah, so I would always check it out. I would always listen to it. And I remember you were talking about getting excited about joining this Mises Caucus thing with a bunch of Ron Paul people. I'm pretty sure that's where I heard of you from. So like I give you credit for that. So when you sit there and say, yeah, I'm the one who, like kind of brought attention to it. I mean, for me, you did.
I did for a lot of people. A lot.
Yeah,
I
can't.
But it doesn't mean
They have special guests in the background.
It doesn't mean they should endorse you forever.
No, and I agree, and that's what, and so I want to be clear when I talked to Heiss about this initially behind the scenes. My only concern was, hey, all I'm asking is for a little professional courtesy that you guys don't go on an offensive and attack the person who helped you build the caucus. That's all I'm asking. Don't go to my members, my supporters, and talk a bunch of shit about me. Say what you think is honest. I'll say what I think's honest, and I'll run my campaign completely separate from any of that bullshit. I won't say any bad words about the caucus. Boom, there we go. But that's not what happened. And I had people from the board messaging my supporters, talking shit, saying things that I believe were untrue. Whether they believe it was true or not, they were untrue. And so that was a big thing for me. And I'm not saying it was just Heiss. Heiss was pretty good about talking to me and stuff like that. But there were some other people that were doing it on the board. And so, that was why I made the post that I made, the initial post, the public post, because I was like, no, I'm not going to fucking play that game. I have a lot of supporters, and they don't need to be hearing that I was derelict in my duties on the board. Like, what the fuck? When? So then they start giving me these dates. Oh, you missed this meeting and you missed this meeting and you didn't. Okay, motherfucker. I was traveling for the caucus when I missed these meetings that you're talking about. I was literally campaigning for chairman, and I was going to a meeting every single weekend for like 4 months straight. You know what I mean? And so I got mad and I made that post, and I said I still think what I did was right. It brought attention to what was going on to the members, and it brought attention to who we were going to be voting for. And so, I hate that that's how it boiled down, but at the end of the day, I still think I did the right thing. So
well, just to clarify, they're no longer backing this Fed.
Well, now they're saying that they're not gonna endorse anybody. So,
well, here's the thing too, and Josh, we talked about it. It's like, it sucks, and that was kind of like it's unfortunately it's an organization, just like Otto said. It's like politics, and the thing that sucks, it's like months away, and it's like I wasn't even thinking about this,
right?
And the fact that you brought up, like, oh damn, wow, Josh's opponent or the person we're backing, not a good look, But
it's pretty rough, dude.
But the thing was, it's like, it's also convention season. Like, there's so many conventions coming up. Like, who the hell knows? Like, Reno, it seems like it's so close, but I'm like, oh man, that's like
when is Reno?
Months away.
5 months away. It's Labor Day weekend in May.
Yeah.
This whole show has been talking about LP boring crap. Maybe we should think about our fans that aren't really interested in all this LARPing
got 8
shit.
minutes left, Bab. What do you want to?
Yeah, we got. Well, let's say this for the after hours. We can kind of.
We need to take a moment, and we need to get Bitcoin back on track with a punk rock libertarian bump.
Yeah, we got to
get everybody do a little smash buy. Everybody go do a little smash buy. Get that price going. Yeah, that's all.
It's sat stacking time.
Yeah, stats. It doesn't matter if it goes up and down. It's always going to go back up. So
that's right.
Right. Well, we don't really. I mean, honestly, we don't really care because actually, this is a good time to buy more. So, but it just feels better when it goes up.
Yeah, it does. It does. It is hopium. I love it. I do get excited. I don't have a lot of Bitcoin anymore, but I
mean, the whole market seems to be kind of freaking out due to, I guess, Federal Reserve interest rates and the tapers.
There's this new China coin. Did you hear about this?
China.
Oh, a new CBDC, China. Central bank digital currency.
Yeah,
I'm not at all surprised.
They've been working on it for a long time. Is it been used? Are they using it?
I'm trying to find an article here because we completely forgot about.
Oh, how about
I saw something came up recently.
There's a lot going on, like in Kazakhstan with like what's going on over there.
Yeah,
don't they
CIA coup?
Because don't they mine? There's like a lot of Bitcoin mines.
Yeah, well,
Kazakhstan.
Well, China banned Bitcoin last year, mining. They banned mining. And this time when they banned Bitcoin, it actually caused some disruption, and all the miners had to bail out of China. So a lot of them went to Texas, and a lot of them went to Kazakhstan.
Yeah, Kazakhstan was the big one. Yep.
So they had 18%, I think, of the hashing pool was in Kazakhstan. And when the government shut down their internet, like basically, I heard, and I didn't actually see it in terms of the mining results, but I heard like that whole 18% like went offline of the hashing pool. It's a great test of Bitcoin though, because Bitcoin doesn't give a shit. Like when they banned mining in China, everyone's like, "Oh, that's going to suck." Bitcoin was ready for that attack. Bitcoin, like, "Oh, no problem." Difficulty adjustment automatically kicks in, and it was a great opportunity. All the profits went up for the remaining miners, and like,
it also, I mean, it's not how you want it to happen.
Feel a bump.
It's not how you want it to happen, but it does increase the decentralization of it, right? Because one of the biggest arguments against Bitcoin that people trot out is like, oh, well, it's like, 50% of the mining is happening in China. Well, not anymore. So
yeah, it's getting out of there. It's getting outsourced now.
Yeah,
pretty fast too.
But here's the so China has released pilot versions of its digital yuan wallet, yen. Wuyan wallet application on mobile phone app stores as the country's central bank steps up its push to develop its own digital currency.
Wow.
God,
so they dropped an app.
Little tyrants. Is it immediately connected to your social credit score? I think this is the real breakthrough, is going to be to tie your currency to your social credit score, and just like, nope, you don't get to spend on that, or nope, we're gonna
it's minus 100 digital yuan.
How much credit score do you lose by coming on Punk Rock Libertarians?
It's an automatic -5. If you stay for after hours, it's -15.
You drop one cast position.
Nice. I'll keep that in mind.
You don't get to reincarnate.
Imagine me giving a fuck about my social credit score.
Well, what the neat thing is, right? See, that's the problem. Right now, you don't have to give a fuck. But if they can turn off your currency, your electric, your rent, your gasoline, like now you're going to care about your social credit score. Like that's the whole idea.
Through the 5G tower, through the 5G towers and everything.
They can't turn off this ammunition. That's
5G COVID towers.
The 5G COVID towers. They're going to activate the nanoparticles churning through our Pfizer streams.
Pfizer stream.
Yo, real quick, Jared, go up to the link I shared, the Facebook link I shared, and see if you can post it. Just what? It's 11 seconds. It's just so funny. I need the audience to see it. Audience of that. There's thousands of people watching. Right,
is this the George Floyd one? You want me to?
No,
no, not that one. No,
don't play that one. Don't play that one.
I'll do it. No, that's for after hours.
Yeah. Hold on.
All right. I don't know if you got. Let me know when you get it.
Out of here. This
Jared,
one.
the producer.
I'm not going to. Fucking hell.
What the hell was that?
That was Alex motherfucking Jones.
That was good. That was good. I like that. I support that fully.
Describe it for our audio listeners.
How can you describe that? It was like some chick saying she's not gonna flirt, and then she like makes eye contact with the camera, and then it flips around, and it's just Alex Jones taking a hit off a joint on Rogan.
And she's like, "Fucking hell."
Yeah, fucking hell.
We'll have to clip that and share that.
That was good. That was a good one.
That was too good.
It was I don't know. I saw it literally as we were looking for topics coming up, and I was like, I have to play this on the podcast.
I miss Alex Jones. I mean, he's still there, but it's just like I just liked it when it was pop up on your Twitter feed throughout the day. Now you got to go through got to jump through so many hoops.
That video.
.tv.alex
Dude,
Jones
I was tuned in though during
store.
the original 1.6. I had that up on one monitor. I had like the fucking mainstream news over here. I had like the Facebook meme feed. That was
while you were
a great
working
day,
from
man.
home.
Yeah, while I was working from home, dude. It was
That's fucking awesome.
It was a great day, dude.
Yeah, where were you on January? Where were you on 1/6?
Where were you?
Where were you on 1/6 on the attack on our democracy, Josh?
I
Where
was
were you?
I was at home.
Where were you?
I was
Tell
at
us your
home.
1/6 story.
I was at
How's-
home trying to get acclimated to having 7 children in the house. Well, 6 at that time. We had another one on the way.
And you didn't watch anything. You were just like so busy. You were like,
Dude, I think we were probably watching Hulu or something, I'm sure. And
you're
then I was
totally
like,
checked out.
I think I went to Walmart and I saw somebody texted me about it. I was all, it's finally happening. Here we go. Boom time, boys. And then I was like, what a letdown.
Wah, wah.
Well, it's funny. I remember it distinctly because I wasn't there like AOC. So I remember it very vividly.
I remember like it was yesterday.
I remember.
So,
I
wait,
think
we
a cop
should,
came
like-
into my bathroom and
We probably should take this over to the after hours now.
yeah.
Josh, thanks for coming on, man. You can
course,
hang
man.
out a little bit for the after hours.
Yeah, of course, dude. Yeah.
All right,
Hell
cool,
yeah.
man. Well, why don't you go ahead and plug your show? I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, man. If
You
you guys
have
want
to.
to check out, if you want to check out my show, you guys can go to youtube.com/ Fight the Despots. That's DSOPTS, I think. That's how you spell despots, right? No,
Something like that.
DESPOTS. Yeah, like
There.
despots. But yeah, check me out. Break the Cycle with Joshua Smith. I was doing shows 5 nights a week, but with the campaign, I won't be able to do them five nights a week. But I'll still be doing shows. I think I got 2 this week, and when I get back from Georgia next week, we'll have 3 or 4 shows too. So come hang out, man. It's a good show.
hell yeah.
Definitely do that.
Yeah, thanks, guys. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, no problem. So if you guys want to listen to our After Hours podcast, you guys can sign up for our Patreon for as little as $1 a month. You get to check out our whole backlog of episodes we've done in the past, when we're talking shit about Josh and everything. If you want to check that out,
If you want to see the porno of Otto, it's on there as well.
Yeah.
The
Yeah,
bear
that-
porn.
that's
OnlyFans.
yeah, that's
that's
my only.
the-
The Otto sex tape is there.
You got to find
There's-
that. Yeah,
That's
it's
the
like-
$20 level though.
Yeah, we
it's
have
just like
several
Spike
levels.
Cohen's mixtape. That you find my sex tape.
That's the informant level.
Where you start finding out what you really didn't want to know.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, go check that out. And if you don't like using Patreon, you guys can go over to prlfans.com and find other ways to donate to the show, including Bitcoin. And we also have t-shirts for sale over at libertariancountry.com. Use the code PRL or PRL Podcast and get a 10% discount. Or if you spend $50 or more, you can use the code PRL2 and get a 20% discount. Tonight we are brought to you by Hidden in Plain Sight by Moral Bob. I believe he just dropped a new podcast a few weeks ago. You can check that out. And go to Wheelie's Pharmacy, and you can use our code PRL for a 10% discount to get all your THC needs.
Wait, is this
And-
THC? Can I order this to Iowa where it's illegal or what?
No, CBD. I know I said
Oh,
THC.
okay, I was like, oh, I got really excited for a minute.
I know. I was
Non-THC.
like, wait a minute, that didn't sound right. I said it and I saw your face, Jared. I was like, wait a minute, that's not right. Anyway, whatever.
I wasn't gonna stop you, dude.
Yeah, I knew. Well, someone should have.
This is not a factual show, okay?
Yeah, this is true. These codes cannot work. We could just be lying to you.
It's emotionally correct.
Yeah, it feels right.
Yeah.
It just feels right.
All right. Well, until next time, live free.
Or die.